Hi everyone. It's been a long time since I've made a video update because my life has been crazy. It has been very challenging. Last winter, after the last video I uploaded in February and March, my outdoor kitchen and the place where I was living was invaded by toxic pine processionary caterpillars, which are toxic even for regular people. They are quite dangerous. They move in in lines of hundreds. It can be hundreds, and it were more than 100 that invaded my kitchen. And they have toxic hairs that produce anaphylaxis-like reactions in people and animals. Some pets can die if they bite them. So when that started happening, my body started reacting very strongly, and the reaction got worse and worse with increased exposure. So I wasn't able to use my kitchen anymore. I had to move my cooker and everything to a different place. And then my computer broke down. So I was left with only a very simple phone to communicate, which could not use the internet, but somehow it worked for Facebook, but no, it couldn't open any website because it had a special app for Facebook. So I got very discouraged after so many difficulties and my health getting worse because of the exposure to the toxic pine caterpillars. They were everywhere. In the place where I was living, there were nests, like 20 nests around the house, and they were just coming out like almost every day, caterpillars everywhere. So it was very, very challenging. But luckily, the caterpillars only come out during a certain season, and after a couple of months, they finally stopped. And they moved on their life cycle to become moths. So after that, I was able to recover a bit, but my computer was broken. I had to find a way to get a new computer. And then I had to recover from the emotional and physical hardship that I endured during the winter. It was very hard to endure the cold. After the coldest months were February and March. It snowed in March for about 4 days, which is very unusual. So my body was, and sometimes it went into a bit of a state of shock from the cold. And I wish I had had money to buy more bedding, but I didn't. So I just had to survive with what I had. So then spring came, things got easier, summer, and now it's autumn again. And my life was finally getting back together. I had finally found a different place to live other than my ex's property. And then I had moved there, and I was able to improve a little bit. But then these fires started during October in my country. Forest fires everywhere. And on the past 15th of October, the fires reached catastrophic proportions. And there were hundreds of hectares, thousands burned. And in the municipality where I live, 92% of the forest area burned. And 80% of the area of the municipality, which is mostly forest. Many villages burned, and some people lost their houses, some people lost their lives. And it came to the village where I was living. I was living at the edge of the village in a campground, but it burned, and now I had to run. But I couldn't take much with me, so I lost some of my things that I had to leave behind, and I lost the place where I was living. So now I'm staying with a friend, but I can't stay long. I need to find a new place to live. The good news is that this village where I am now seems to be a better environment for me. I'm feeling much better. The outdoor air feels very fresh. So I've been here for 2 weeks and I feel so much better. I'm very happy about that. And today I came for a walk, trying to find a way to get to the little bit of forest that didn't burn around here. So I was walking along the road, but I couldn't find a way to get down there. As you can see, there's a burnt tree here. Everything is just burnt. And I wanted to find a little bit of intact forest to hang out in for a little bit. But I wasn't able to get there yet. I have to maybe look harder. So I've been meaning to talk about how to deal with adversity when life just seems to throw hardship after hardship and bad luck at us, things that we have no control over. And we're doing our best, but things don't work. It is maddening. And it's hard. It's hard to keep some hope alive. The way I've been able to endure is to really think about the big picture. Think about how I am only one human being in the middle of millions, and how I'm not more important than anyone else, but I'm also not less important. I'm equal with all the other human beings on Earth struggling to survive, struggling to have a happy life. And I'm part of this big human community. And that gives me comfort to imagine all the people in the world striving to just have a good life. And I know there are people enduring a lot worse than me. So I think about those and I wish them better luck, better resources. I send them love. And I think It is not good to think too much about the future, trying to come up with a long-term plan when life seems so uncertain. It doesn't work because our plans can't be accurate. So I think about what is the next thing I can do to move my life in the direction I want it to go. What is the next step I can take? And even when I've been very ill and there seems to be nothing I can do because I have no energy and I can't even move physically, I mean, also emotionally, I think my body is always doing its best to heal. My body is always in the process of healing, of trying to heal. And even if it appears I'm doing nothing and I can't do anything because the circumstances are such, there is always progression, there is always change. And I hold on to that to keep me going. So here I am, faced again with the challenge of finding somewhere to live in which I won't be severely affected by biotoxins, chemical toxins, and I will be able to maintain a level of health that allows me to take care of myself and hopefully allows me to heal so that I can continue improving my health and working towards the goal of taking care of my little girl again. And I still don't have much of a plan, but there's one idea. I'm exploring options. I'm looking at what can be learned from the strategy that came over my country. One thing that really stands out is how people are wanting to help those who lost their homes, their work, their livelihood through the fires, and there seems to be a lot of people organizing help and sending food and items to those who lost everything. Unfortunately, I can't use those items due to my severe reactivity to environmental chemicals. But it's good to see generosity and kindness and solidarity in the world and in my country. So I'll just continue doing the best I can, and I encourage all of you struggling with various difficulties and enormous challenges. Just remember, all of us out here struggling too. Remember, you're not alone. Remember, life is a big, wonderful, scary journey. And we just do the best we can. Much love to you.